We have 178 voters in the hall. We do have a quorum. This meeting is called to order. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 6th night of our town meeting, so that I don't have to go over the rules again. The rules are exactly as they have been for the past 5 nights. Please keep in mind that town meeting does not come to an end until all the agenda items on the warrant have been decided, either by approval, by being defeated, or no action deliberately taken. A reminder that the doorway in the back of the room and to my right are emergency exits only. If you need to leave the hall, please use the doorway on my left. This is to preserve the integrity of the meeting. And once again, I will remind you that everyone should be civil and respectful. There'll be no calling out, no applause, and no rude behavior. And please remember that those around you are trying to listen to the speakers, so please keep your comments to yourself, your discussion, so it's not disturbing to your neighbor. On the first night of town meeting, the body voted that the proponent of the article will have 5 minutes to speak, and that voters wishing to speak to the article will have 2 minutes, with the caveat that the moderator may choose not to cut someone off in mid-sentence and will give the person speaking a warning that their time is concluding and that they need to wrap it up. The moderator may also stop a speaker before the end of 2 minutes if they are merely repeating something that has been said before over and over again. We still have a considerable number of articles to get through. If we can keep our discussions to the matter before us. Again, non-voters are welcome to town meeting, however they may not vote, and they should be sitting in the non-voting section. Once again, I want to remind you that Community Preservation is accepting applications for the Springtown meeting round of grants until Tuesday, December 7th. Their applications can be submitted under the category of open space, historic preservation, affordable housing, or recreation, and the information is available on the town website. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a vehicle that's parked in the fire lane, I would strongly suggest that you go out and move it because it is enforced. Please turn off all your cell phones. There's no food or drink allowed in the auditorium. Once again, there is no smoking on school property. If you need to go out and have a cigarette, you must leave the property. You can't just sit in your car. You need to leave the school property. Before we begin, Article 2, Section 2.6 of the Town Charter states that all department heads shall attend the sessions of each town meeting for the purpose of providing the town meeting with information pertinent to warrant articles. I will call for a roll call of all department heads. Board of Health, Chief Assessing Officer, Community Development, Conservation, Council on Aging, Management Technology, EMS, Inspectional Services, Municipal Maintenance, Planning, Police Department, Harbor Master, Town Accountant, Town Collector Treasurer, Library, Water Pollution Control, the Clerk, the Finance Committee, and Board of Selectmen are all here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on Article 67. May I have a motion?
Madam Moderator, to the body, please look at the motion itself. The article as written in the warrant article is missing a piece toward the end. I can't read it either right now. Alan Slavin, Charter Review Committee. I move favorable action to amend the bylaws of the Town of Wareham, Division 1, Article 1, Section 1, Town Meetings. Change the date of the election and town meeting as stated below. Section 1. The spring town meeting shall be construed to be the annual town meeting and shall be held on the first Tuesday of May of each year, and the polls shall be opened at 8:00 a.m. and shall close not earlier than 12:00 noon for the election of town officers designated in the official ballots and for voting questions or matters that may be properly submitted to vote on in the official ballot. This meeting will be adjourned until the 4th Monday of May, at which time general business of the town shall be transacted. In any year that Memorial Day occurs on the 4th Monday, the town meeting will begin on the 4th Tuesday. The fall town meeting shall be held on the 4th Monday of October. Article 14 of the October 21st, 2002 town meeting approved by the Attorney General, December 2nd, 2002. The general business portion of the spring and fall town meeting shall be called to order at 7 o'clock p.m. and shall adjourn not later than 10 o'clock p.m. except that a meeting may be continued beyond 10 p.m. by a 2/3 vote of those present and voting. That was passed Article 18, December 5th, 6th, and 13th, 1994, special town meeting, approved in 95. All articles to be included in the spring and fall town meetings shall be submitted to the Finance Committee no later than 35 days before the date on which such meetings are scheduled to convene. Thank you.
Do I have a second?
Second.
To speak to the article.
Lee Carmody, Precinct 5. The suggestion to change the town meeting from April to May is not capricious. It was determined by some requests from the selectmen and the town administrator. And the purpose of the change would be to enable them to better present us with a realistic budget of the town. So let me remind you that in our present charter, the town administrator must submit his proposed budget by the 15th of December. Now, the whole process of preparing a town's budget for presentation for us at spring meeting has, in accordance with our charter and with Massachusetts general laws, many prescribed steps and periods of times to be respected in regard to these steps, such as submission for approval, publishing of the budget, and making it public and having it discussed. Well, since our town budget is predicated on state aid, we need it. And that, the amount of that is not mentioned until the governor's budget, which is produced in February. It's not made public at any rate until February. The current direction to the town administrator to have the budget prepared in December forces him to do a lot of guesswork. Even the amounts mentioned in the governor's budget are not for sure. They're not, you can't totally count on them, but they are guidelines that the town administrator on which the town administrator can develop a town budget that's least likely to require drastic changing. Now, subsequent articles 55 and 53 that we'll present later this evening will detail changes in the preparation of the budget that are directly in accordance with the requests from the selectmen and the town administrator. But the only way that these changes can work, that is to postpone the completion of the final budget until information from the state has reached us, and to respect the time intervals mandated between budget approval and the presentation at town meeting, is to push the town meeting forward from April to May. That is, that certain amounts of time are required. And if you abide by the requests of the board and the TA of the February 15th date, then it needs be that the town meeting be later. As I say, we'll be presenting those in hopefully just a few minutes. So we urge affirmative action on this bylaw change. Thank you.
Testing. May I have the vote of the Board of Selectmen?
The Board of Selectmen voted favorable action 4-1-0.
May I have the vote of the Finance Committee?
The Finance Committee voted favorable action 7-1-0.
Thank you. Gentleman on my left.
Steve Curry, Precinct 5. Just a question, Madam Moderator, on the first couple of sentences. The articles to change the election and town meeting dates. Now, if I'm reading this first few sentences, it says the town elections will be changed